What's going on, car family? I'm Ben Wayne, and thank you for joining me in another video. Today we're taking a look at another EV. This is the Hyundai Ioniq 6 SE long range. Now, its top competitor is the Tesla Model 3, so we'll drop the specs throughout the review and let you decide which one you think is coming out on top. Now, the styling of this one is particularly striking, and of course, the price point you're looking at about $45,000. Now, this is the SE long range model, so let's go ahead and get into it. Your range on this model is 361 miles, which is quite a ways. Now, there are other models that feature all-wheel drive, and you have the all-wheel drive limited model. The range of those are coming in at about 307 for the limited rear-wheel drive model, and then you have 270 miles of range for the limited all-wheel drive models, in case you're interested in that. Now, what you're getting in this particular package is a rear-wheel drive setup in this particular car with the 77.4 kilowatt hour battery. The charging on a level 2 charger, it takes about 6 hours and 55 minutes to charge. Let's just call that 7 hours. Let's be realistic. And then on a fast charger, you're getting from 10% to 80% in just 18 minutes. That is exceptionally quick. That is really quick. So when it comes to EVs, you have to look at them a little bit differently. When you go to a gas station, you usually top off, right? You usually fill it to the brim. With an EV, you could just charge for a few minutes and then have enough mileage to get you through the week, to get you from where you need to go. Now, when it comes to EVs, people aren't using these cars on long distance road trips, at least not yet. But this car has enough range to get you around town for quite a while. 361 miles for the long range version of this vehicle is quite impressive. So to get that range, Hyundai took certain steps in the design, which we'll talk about, to get this thing as slippery as possible in the wind. So your drag coefficient on this one is about 0.22. Drag is defined as the resistance of an object in a fluid environment. So essentially 0.22 is really impressive. Now for the limited models, depending on the options, that drag coefficient can go up a little bit, which is why the limited models have a little bit less range than this long range model. So let's go ahead and talk about styling. Up front, you can tell right off the bat that this car has a unique look to it when compared to pretty much anything else on the street. We have amber colored daytime running lamps, LED projector lamps as well. You have slots and vents that are functional as well. Again, Hyundai's designers wanted to keep this car as slippery as possible, which is why you have functional slots. Closed to remain efficient, and then they open to let the car breathe when it needs to. Right? Now, underneath the hood, you just have a little bit of storage, like 0.5 cubic feet of storage. That would be for your charging cables and whatnot. Nobody's expecting you to drop any luggage or suitcase or anything up front, right? You have the trunk for that. Coming to the side profile, it's just as striking as it is up front. What you have is a teardrop shape, if you will, kind of reminiscent of the first generation Mercedes-Benz CLS. Completely different car, but that's what it reminds me of. So I love the teardrop shape, and I love how the window surrounds have been completely blacked out as well. Now, you do have body color side view mirrors, but one thing you'll notice about this car are the 18-inch wheels. They have a unique look to them. Now, these aren't the most visually appealing wheels that are available on the Ioniq 6, but they are the most efficient wheels available on this car. That's why it's on the long range model. So the goal is to reduce drag, and those flat wheels are really aerodynamically efficient, which is what you want on a vehicle like this, where you want to maximize your range as much as possible. So again, you have that teardrop shape, you have the creases going along the side. It just really comes together really well. And then the top of the roof comes down into the trunk lid. Now let's talk about the rear, because in my opinion, that is truly unique and deserves some discussion. So you have a lot going on back there. You have two spoilers. The first spoiler houses your third brake lamp, right? And then coming lower, you do have another spoiler. It almost looks a little bit like a Porsche in the back. Those lines remind me a little bit of a Porsche. And then, of course, you have a LED light band going all the way across. Just really looks pretty cool. No matter who you are, the rear of this car is attention grabbing. It's going to get your attention. Now, if you lift up the trunk, it's just power opening and closing, you're looking at about 11 cubic feet of storage. You can drop those second seats if you want to expand on that storage as well. So second row seats fold to increase your storage capacity. Now, of course, you do have gloss black accents on the rear as well. So the overall design of this vehicle, it is eye-catching. It's going to get your attention. And Hyundai really dared to be different when it came to designing this. It's not for everybody, I'll admit, but EVs aren't for everybody anyway. But this is a model that a lot of people were really looking forward to coming out, especially since it's larger than the Ioniq 5 in terms of length. This is 8 inches longer than the Ioniq 5. As a matter of fact, I believe it's the longest EV sedan in its class. To get a longer EV sedan, you really have to look at probably Mercedes-Benz, EQS, and stuff like that, and that's a whole nother price point. But this has to be one of the longest EVs in its class, which is pretty cool when you think about it. Now, in terms of handling, it's going to give you a nice quiet ride, which EVs are known for. It's just as if it's gliding, right? It's not jerky. It's a nice, smooth, and quiet ride. So if you're a person who has a work day, which is so stressful, and you want to just hop in the car and not hear anything, this might be one of those cars for you. The only thing that you really hear sometimes when you drive this car is that electric whirring noise from the motors. Most EVs have that, and quite frankly, after having this for a week, it's something that I have to remember to point out because I got used to hearing it, right? All cars have noise. If you have a combustion car, a car with a traditional ICE, you're going to have noise. When it comes to these EVs, you have a different type of noise. So the ride is smooth and supple. The wheelbase is long enough to the point where it just absorbs any bumps or surface imperfections. And it just gives you a nice feeling of, cruising or wafting along. That's one thing I really love about EVs. It gives you that sense that it's effortless. You don't feel all the mechanical, noise and the machine working around you. It's just it's just going. It's just going. All right, you put your foot on the accelerator, it just goes. Right? Now, for this particular application, that's what you want. I'm not saying it's like a Ferrari or a Porsche or anything, but for this particular application, that's what you're looking for. Now, when it comes to the acceleration, as you would expect in any EV, you're going to get that instant torque, and it's not fighting you. It just goes. It's really responsive. That instant torque is there, as you would expect, and what else is there to say? Let's talk about the interior. The interior is really minimalistic and modern. So right off the bat, we have two 12.3-inch display screens here, industry standard, right? You're gonna get what you expect from Hyundai. You're gonna get a display showing how much power you got in that battery. Of course, you have all the apps here. Hopefully you can see them. One thing they are missing is the wireless Apple CarPlay and the wireless Android Auto. That's a little bit disappointing, but it is available. That is remedied if you do have a USB port. They have a USB-A port here where you can connect your phone to. I imagine they are working on a wireless adaptation of Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Most people are if they don't. So that will be something I expect to see and probably the next model year of this vehicle. Now we do have a two-tiered system here for your center console, cup holders, storage for your phone. This particular model doesn't have wireless charging. The other models do. Coming further back, we do have controls for your windows in the center here and your unlock and lock buttons. That's something I've had to get used to over the time I've had this car. So it's interesting. I'm still reaching over here to lower and control the windows and lock the doors. I have to remind myself it's in the center console. During ownership, obviously this is something that you will get used to. Now along the dash, we do have a rubbery injection molded material here. And then of course, in typical Hyundai fashion, they went ahead and hid the air conditioning vents. You just have a solid line going across the dash. Kind of cleans up the design a little bit. So no harm, no foul there. In terms of the seating is comfortable. This one does not have leather on it. This is just a standard version, but the seats are heated. Now in the limited model, you can get heated and cooled seats if you would like, so that is available. The steering wheel is wrapped in leather and then also features 4 illuminated blocks here in the steering wheel. I noticed when I reviewed the Ioniq 5 that these didn't light up. It's nice to see that they addressed that in the Ioniq 6 model. Okay, this thing is just so easy and relaxing to drive, even in the midst of all this traffic. I usually review cars on the weekend, but here I am on the weekday just testing this thing out. So the way the car makes you feel, it almost relaxes you while you're driving it, regardless of the environment that you're in. Now coming to the doors, it's really a minimalist style. All the buttons have been located on the center console. Really gives you an opportunity just to have nothing on the doors except for the speakers. I love the way they just flow and they've been designed extremely well. And it's really visually appealing. It's almost a conversation piece, the door itself. So I love the minimalist style there as well. Now in other markets, you'll notice on the dash, we have 2 panels, one on either side. Other markets that are cooler than us have video here showing you what's on your side view. That's pretty neat. That's not legal here in the US. Who knows when it will be. Coming towards the back, you do have USB ports and plenty of storage and a flat floor, which you would expect in an EV. So overall, you're getting plenty of legroom in both the first and second row, comfort in both the first and second row, and access to USB as well. Now, the one thing this tester is missing is a panoramic roof, and I'm not going to take off points for that because it is available in other models, right? So that's just a box that you have to check. But overall, let me know what your thoughts are on this car. Do you like what Hyundai's doing? They're willing to back this car with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. And that warranty covers the electrical components of the EVs. A lot of concern around EVs are the batteries, right? Hyundai is backing it with a 10-year warranty. Now, to me, that is making a statement because their competitors are not doing that. To say we're backing this with 10 years is saying, okay, we're counting on this to work the way it's designed to work. When you buy a car and they say 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty, it's almost like they're rushing you out the door before something breaks. That's what it feels like a little bit. 10-year warranty, that is telling me that this company has faith in the product that they put out. Let me know what you guys think about this one in the comment section. Would you take this Ioniq 6 over a Tesla Model 3? Definitely be sure to share your thoughts. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And until next time, I'm Ben Wayne, the automotive reviewer that YouTube deserves. I'll catch you guys in the next one.